As many of you know, I made a video speaking out against my film school. However, there was one good thing that came out of film school, and that was my relationship to my girlfriend, Laura. What's interesting is that she has a completely different outlook on film school. She loved it there. She loved it so much. She absolutely loved and cherished every moment at that film school. So I thought it would be interesting to have her on as a guest so we can discuss why we feel so differently about film school but can stay in a relationship together. How can two people so diametrically opposed on this subject exist together? So here she is. Laura, come on. Stage, please.
Hi, everyone. I'm a cinematographer and camera assistant and poet.
What led you to decide to go to film school? Yeah.
So I first got into film when I made little videos. I edited videos with my friends in elementary school all the way through like high school. And I loved photography, so I figured that cinematography would be an awesome career to pursue because it was everything that I loved. And so I decided to go to CSULB because they had a cinematography specialization and because I just thought that the school was very pretty, and they also were one of the few that still shot with film, so that was a big part of why I chose to go there.
And now what are you doing after you've graduated?
I freelance full time. I DP, I camera operate, and I camera assist.
Nice. So before college, I think it's important to note that we had very different high school experiences also. So my high school was a very good high school, but Laura's high school was really shitty, right?
Very lackluster.
Yeah, like you didn't enjoy your high school experience.
I hated high school.
Yeah.
I felt very alone throughout the whole experience, and I didn't feel like I was doing or pursuing anything interesting or what I loved, and I felt very out of place in high school.
That's how I felt in college. Weird. And so so we met in film school. We actually we started dating literally as we both got into the narrative production tract, and then from there we were just like always working on each other's projects. And but anyway, I think I've talked about how much I dislike film school since I've known you. Maybe I don't even know was I talking about it right when we met?
I think you were. You've been talking about it ever since I knew you, like ever since I met you.
So what
hate film school.
What was I saying back then? What do I say now? Like what's changed about my perspective, if anything?
I don't really know how it's changed. I feel like it's only strengthened.
So it's gotten worse. Yeah. Why do you think our experiences have been so different? Like, why do you think? Because it seemed like it's both worked for us, whatever angle we've taken, right? But yeah, because we're working, and it's like, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people who went through film school aren't working, but it doesn't seem like you have to.
That was actually one of the things that someone told me when I first went, was that like, I don't know, a majority of the people that go to film school will not work in film, which is interesting. I don't know.
And so what is like, so it seems like both of our angles worked. Like, you really leaned into taking advantage of your opportunities at the school. And I did the opposite. I was constantly like leaning out, like
You're trying to get work outside of school.
Yeah.
And, like, get away from school.
I don't know. What do you make of that?
Well, I think from my experience, I started at film school not really knowing much about cinematography or the industry in general. So I was kind of, I learned everything pretty much there, and also like by researching. Like I spent a lot of time like researching stuff online. Or when I was going to CSULB, I just felt like I needed a new environment from high school. and I found a lot of people that I connected with, and I felt very secure there. And I was very encouraged. I think that was a huge part for me by professors and friends, and it, to me, film school built like a lot of confidence and security that I did not have when I was growing up. And like it was, I think, formative for me as a person. Also, I think being in a technical track like cinematography was super valuable because we had a lot of technical classes and like and field trips. We had a lot of field trips. Mm-hmm. So we got to meet a lot of people in the industry, and I think that was super helpful for me, at least.
My question is film school worth it?
Do you want to go first?
You. Well, I think everyone knows my opinion, but I've literally made 4 videos about how it's not. But what do you think?
I think it depends on who you are. For me, it was worth it because I didn't really know anything about the industry, and it gave me like a structure to experiment and learn, and also resources, because I was able to shoot a couple things on film, and I don't think I would have been able to do that as quickly. Definitely not. I wouldn't be able to do that as quickly if I didn't go to film school. So
I honestly feel like you would have been able to do it quicker. I mean, we've talked about this, but but whatever. Listen, I think that's like a good takeaway, is that like, yeah, it depends on who you are, and I want to bring a voice to people who are like me. And that's like the whole thing. But I really do think that it should be put into serious doubt and serious questioning. So right before I launched the film school was the biggest mistake I'd ever made video I showed you.
Was that? Oh, okay.
Yeah. And like I personally thought it would get like, I don't know, a couple hundred views and like maybe if that, and no one would really care. But when I posted it on the FEA alumni and like professor page where they all hang out, and it like, I think it was the most interacted with post that group had ever had. So like it was mixed, leaning far towards negative, right? Like it was like, because I said some stuff on there, like, I said some stuff, and there was a lot of professors that decided to talk to me about it.
Yeah, but some people did agree with you.
Yeah, I'd say like a lot of, or like, I think it was pretty much half and half. But I think that because the nature of negativity, it's easier to respond back negatively than to put yourself out there. Because I actually got like a lot of people reaching out to me saying that they felt the same way in like private messages, but not exactly commenting on the post. So yeah. Anyway, but point is that's why it was negative. And I think I just didn't expect people to care. But I'm happy that people did, and I'm really happy that I struck a chord, honestly, because it means that there's something there, whatever it is. And to sum it up, let's give like a hot take of college in one sentence.
One sentence.
Yeah, so I'll give you.
Okay. My one sentence is you get to meet people and experiment. Like artistically. Oh my God. Stop. Okay, I can't say that. Cut that out. Okay. What is yours?
I'd say go if you don't know. If you don't know, go, because it's probably the better option than just not knowing. But if you do know, avoid it like the fucking plague. Do not go. But if you don't know, go. That's it.
Your distaste for saying that.
Well, yeah, because I mean, but that's the thing is like I've never felt that. I don't know what that's like to not know. So
Must be nice.
I don't know what to say about that. But I was lucky that I found it when I was so young.
I had a good time, but I'm not like to everyone, yeah, go to CSULB because it's different for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's like it was good for me, but it may not necessarily be good for someone else.
I don't think it's good for anyone. Listen, I'm changing my one sentence. Don't go. I literally think don't go. It's useless. Don't go. It's useless. That's my sentence.
I think, okay, don't go. It's useless. All right, fine. I think there are a lot of problems with the program, but I think that it's an environment where you can do a lot creatively and meet a lot of people that you can work with in the future. And if you have a good professor, then they'll influence you in positive ways, and you meet a lot of people through it, and you also have access to equipment through the school.
And my counterpoint to that would be like film is inherently a collaborative sport. So no matter where you are, you're gonna meet people. It's just the nature of the thing. And like, if you need to get your hands on technology, it's so simple. Like, it's so cheap. Like I was able to get my hands on all types of cameras at like the age of like 16 or 17, and the thing is though, like, those getting your hands on camera is going to get you work, but if you're trying to do something creative in the field, it doesn't help you that much, honestly. Like if you're trying to actually like make videos or whatever, or make films, then, you know, coming from my perspective, you would be better served to spend the time learning how to write and reading books than to touch cameras.
One of the things, if you're trying to learn something through the internet, if you're learning film, or if you're trying to teach yourself anything really for that matter, is the emotional energy that it takes to create a structure for yourself. And I think that something that's huge to being able to develop creative skill is action, like just doing and just shooting. And like being in college, you're forced in an environment where you're doing and shooting all the time. And whereas like it's easy if you're in total control of your learning, it's easy to not do it. Whereas in college, you have all the access to people that you're collaborating with, and then the gear, and then assignments. It's just, I mean, it's a good structure because it's really hard to learn things on your own, and to have that structure. And it's easy to get stuck in like self-doubt, and that inhibits action. But action is like the most important thing to developing your own personal like creativity and like art.
Yeah. When you say that though, like what I think of is like college is not action to me. College is delaying action. Like you're on like a plane of like unreality, you know, like where the consequences are so low that that your actions have little impact. So if there's not much consequence of failure, then how much learning can you do? You know what I mean? So if you're not able to truly fail, then you're not able to truly act, in my opinion, because that's what I felt like in college. And that was what was a big frustrating part for me, is that everyone was very not serious about the work because the work had no consequence. They didn't have to feed themselves from the work. They didn't have to worry about their reputation with the work. So in a sense, it meant that the work didn't have to be taken seriously. There was no professional oversight, so to me, that's what, like, when you say action, I'm like, well, it seems like college is the delay of real action. And so it does make the threshold to act possibly lower, but I don't even believe it can be qualified as real action if there's no risk and failure, So like your creativity suffers, in my opinion, because creativity thrives off of vulnerability and risk, and
but it also thrives off of like being like relaxed, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't have any scientific facts to back this up or anything, but I know it's a thing.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like, you need to not be in a torturous position you need to be in a healthy position in order to be creative. But yeah. I'm not saying that to put yourself in an unhealthy position, but to know that what you're doing is actually consequential is my real point, so. And in college, you're going to feel like it's not, because it's insular, like, I don't know, like student films never leave rarely ever leave the light of day.
Well, what about you meeting me at college?
Well, exactly. Yeah, that was the only good thing. But part of me believes that we would have met anyway.
I know you always say that. I don't know. How can you say that?
I'm not going to give a fucking school credit for meeting you. I'm not going to give... That has nothing to do with the school. I mean, like, we were just in the same place at the same time there. But I really believe we probably would have crossed paths in other ways. I really do.
That's sweet.
I'm not going to give a school credit for my relationship. That's fucking ridiculous. Maybe...
Well, it happens. So you kind of have to a little bit.
No, I don't.
Well...
To say that the school is responsible for our relationship, I don't agree.
Well, we met at college.
Yeah.
The world is very big. I don't know if we would have met.
The world is small. The film industry is small. That's why they teach you to not burn bridges, but I clearly haven't learned that. They say the film industry is, what did they say? It's like the biggest small. They have a saying about the film industry that it's like the biggest small world or something like that. Anyway, we would have met. Come on.
I mean, how can you possibly say that? There's like infinite combinations.
There's not infinite.
Yeah, like.
I was in Orange and I was working with Chapman students before I went to college. You went to Cal State Long Beach. How many Chapman students did you work with at Cal State Long Beach?
A few. Like, I've known a few, but not too many.
And I probably would have worked on more student sets, probably like USC sets or whatever. Like, I can see that happening. Seriously, though. Like, I mean, the USC sets are an example of, like, what a lot of money poorly managed can do. But it's like an exercise in the fact that you don't need money.
Put that in.
What do you mean? It's true, though. I think if there's one nugget of credit I'll give to Cal State Long Beach, it's that we make better things than USC students do. Because USC students are, like, all the bad things about Cal State Long Beach, like, magnified. Like, so much money with so little talent. Like, it's like... And even, like...
I know some good students that went to USC that are talented.
Yeah, but my point is that it's no indicator. Like, it doesn't matter where you graduated from. It's zero indicator about your skill.
That is true about CSULB, though. Everyone there was really scrappy and
and that's
everything.
the nature of film too. So in a way, that scrappiness,
in a good way, scrappy.
Yeah, in a very good way, scrappy. So,
we agree on one thing.
Mm-hmm. That CSULB is scrappy. All right, let's wrap it up. In conclusion, I'm just holding fast and saying that given the chance again, I would skip CSULB, probably just poach their students, and still end up meeting Laura anyway.
And if given the opportunity, I wouldn't trade the experiences and the self-discovery I made in college for anything.
All right.